I'm doing what I do a lot. I check the internet, I check YouTube, and there's always stories now on COVID. So this story was a few days ago. Doctor describes getting death threats by families of COVID patients. Okay, so the news is making a big deal that people are threatening doctors and not trusting their advice and their recommendations. So it's trying to make people look so terrible. Um, and the comments are half and half. But today I found another story which, let's see if I can go back to my history quick. Um, and it was on, okay, COVID hospitalizations among children rising. Okay, another typical propaganda report on COVID. COVID hospitalizations among U.S. children rising as Omicron spreads. Oh boy, and this is CBS Morning, okay? So, yeah, oh boy, this is terrible. Oh my gosh, hey, get your vaccine. So anyway, let's just take a look at the comments, the replies to this, and I love them. So here's just a few, and these go on and on and on and on and on, and it shows that people know this is bullshit and are tired of it. Okay, I find it odd that our government is extremely generous when it comes to vaccines, but not antibody tests. All right, I don't like that one so much, but they're they're literally just winging it as they go at this point. Okay, I don't like that one. Interviewer, how serious is this? Answer, it's so serious that the CDC just dropped isolation from 10 days to 5 days. And then who TF believes any of this BS? Okay? That's a good comment. The CDC dropped isolation regarding Omicron from 10 days to 5 days because they know it's a quick recovery. Okay? Meanwhile, they're giving this story that, oh my God, our kids are going to the hospital. Okay? My entire family and baby had COVID. We are all fine now. We are treating this wave as our booster shot. We are all vaccinated and it was fine. Okay. I'm a parent and a PA in New York City. I've not seen a single case of an otherwise healthy child hospitalized with COVID. Period. That's a good reply. When it comes to our kids and their families and their well-being, the government or public opinion means nothing. Do what you feel is best. Okay. A study in South Africa where Omicron started showed the opposite. Omicron is less deadly and it doesn't require hospitalization since symptoms are weaker than Delta. Source, South African National Institute of Communicable Diseases. Now we're talking. Okay. Are the children being admitted to the hospital because of COVID-19 or another illness injury, and incidentally finding they have Omicron? How serious are their symptoms? What are those symptoms? Do those children have underlying medical problems? See, they're questioning. Do those children have enough vitamin D and zinc levels? See, that's someone who's looked into this freaking disease and knows the right thing to do, and they never tell you boost your vitamin D, which can actually keep you from getting sick or get better so you don't need the hospital. You can peddle fear for so long before people stop taking you serious. Bingo. Hearing that myocarditis and heart attacks in children, wow, not a good thing at all. Wonder when parents are going to say no. Now this has to be about the vaccine because no one says that COVID causes myocarditis. Definitely not. And heart attacks. That's about the vaccine. At this point, I'm convinced that there are more news reports about the surging cases than there are actual surging cases. That's the best right there. And I replied to that one. My reply should be right here. No, mine is gone. Okay, exactly. Trust this government at your own peril. Fact. Which is good. It will make separate separating the weeds from the flowers very simple in the future. I don't know. So, okay, here's a perfect one. The hospitalization number is total bunk. It's hospitalizations, period. They count anybody who tests positive in a hospital as a hospitalization, regardless of status of the person. Studies from the VA showed that nearly half of hospitalizations were from people who were at the hospital for appointments not related to COVID and showed no symptoms. Okay, this is where people know the facts and they're questioning these bullshit articles. Just checking to see that my response didn't show up in there. I have COVID right now and it's weak AF. My kids don't even have the sniffles. Okay. Omicron isn't even fatal. You people are such con artists, I swear. See that? How come this video isn't pulled for spreading misinformation about the pandemic? Bingo! You see, one after another. These are beautiful. I love these. Only thing kids need to be taught to see through the two-party system and realize that their mind is being conditioned to accept two incomplete opinions. Okay? They tell a kid they can use the toilet but aren't allowed to flush, or they can flush but aren't allowed to use the toilet. Okay. Where are the links to the statistics? Doesn't mean that they don't exist, but if mainstream media wants their view to count for stop plummeting, I would highly recommend objective journaling and providing statistical analysis. You're not going to find it because it's propaganda. I don't want my child getting an emergency vaccine that wasn't approved by the FDA. Don't they realize how strong a child's immune system is? Bingo! We are living in fear hard enough yet? Are we living in fear hard enough yet? I think not. Hide the kids, Zoom all day. Seems like a recipe of well-adjusted kids for an entire generation. Thanks. Dislike. Prove these numbers. Leave kids alone. Reported for misleading information. I'm sure common sense will prevail in, I don't know, in New York, nothing. Send them to Africa. They seem to be handling things just fine. Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Biden 2021. Beautiful. If we've been bamboozled long enough, we tend to reject any evidence of the bamboozle. We're no longer interested in finding out the truth. The bamboozle has captured us. It's simply too painful to acknowledge, even to ourselves, that we've been taken. And once you give a charlatan power over you, you almost never get it back. Bingo. Show us the studies on those cloth Spider-Man masks being effective. Imagine if they cared about cancer like this, like cancer this much. So we must have beaten the Delta variant, eh? Good. Omicron, you're next. I don't know what that means. YouTube disabled the dislike button just for crap like this. See, it's one after another that these people are showing that they're tired of this crap. We know we're being lied to, and it's just, and this is mainstream media. Come on, this is, look at the people up here. They're in their fancy white shirts. Where the hell? Come on, my computer is a dog sometimes. There it is. They got their nice suits on. They're reading their cards. They're groomed nice. It's a bunch of shit, and they're trying to scare people. Oh, more kids battling COVID. Oh my gosh. There's 167 likes, 16,000 views, and I don't think the dislike works anymore. You put it down, but it doesn't count the number. Like, they're not letting us see the numbers. Anyway, here's a perfect example where the replies are really intelligent. Many of them, they're showing we don't buy this crap, and thought I'd just make a little video on that.